In this video, we're going to discuss what goes on inside of someone who struggles with people pleasing. What do they feel inside? And I want you to pay attention to, can you relate to any of these? Because awareness is half the battle. In every video, I'll start off with a trivia question for you to guess what you think the answer is. Some of the questions will be percentage questions, some will be the best of 3 answers, and some will even be fill in the blank. So make sure you comment below, and I want you to write what you think the answer is. And at the end of the video, I'll give you the answer, and you can compare to see how did you do? Did you get the right answer, or how close were you? Now, make sure that you watch the whole video because I have what I call golden nuggets that will be helpful in your life, and you're gonna want them. So today's trivia question is, surveying 100 people, what percentage pretend to agree or feel fine when they actually are emotionally upset or disagree? Make sure you put your answer below. What percentage do you feel do that? Hi, I'm Pam McCloskey. I am a personal development and wellness specialist. We create a pathway of tools and encouragement for women to thrive while alive. It's great to have you here. Make sure you say hello in the comments and don't forget to put your answer into the trivia question. So what is going on inside of someone who struggles with people pleasing? Well, the first thing I think of is fear of conflict. That they'll avoid conflict at all costs. They avoid having conversations on the topic that causes the conflict. Have you ever done that where you know what topic is going to come up and you avoid it at all costs because you hate conflict? How about feeling not good enough? That is another thing that people who struggle with people pleasing, that's what they're feeling inside, that they're not good enough, that they can't do enough, that they can't meet people's expectations, they have a low self-worth. Denial is also a problem. Denying self-denial, or ignoring of a person's rights, denying that they have a right, denying that you have a right, is another thing that a people pleaser will feel. They also feel very lonely and isolate from others. Sometimes it's easier not to be around other people because then you don't have to deal with the feelings that you have inside, the feeling of not being good enough, of not being able to do enough, and so they'll isolate from other people. There's also the fear of loss of approval. Most of us want people to approve of us. And when you are people pleasing and you feel like you can't do enough, you feel that you're going to disappoint other people or that they don't approve of you. And that's a great fear inside. Another fear, which you're going to notice, I'm going to say fear a lot because people pleasing is usually caused by several different fears. The fear of rejection. Have you ever been afraid that people were just going to reject you? Have you ever been rejected? I know I have, and it creates that feeling of fear that I don't want that to happen again. So I will micromanage everything to try to make sure that people don't reject me. There's also the fear of loss of personal identity, who you are. Sometimes we don't even have an idea of who we are. And so having the loss, like you lose who you are when you're trying to do stuff for everybody else, but you're not doing anything for yourself. There's also the fear of personal loss or personal worth, that you lose yourself in helping other people. Here's the thing. Most of us like to help other people. Most of us see needs that people have and we want to meet them. The problem with people pleasing is that you totally put yourself aside always, and you're always helping other people to a point where it is affecting you, your family, and mostly it's because you don't know how to say no. And so you keep doing, and helping this person, helping that person, and pretty soon you can't even tell who you are because you're so enmeshed in other people. Feeling inferior to others is another thing that people pleasers feel, that there's a fear of other people and what they're going to say, or even what they want from us. There's also a concern about satisfying others' demands. So sometimes we feel like we have to fulfill everything that somebody needs, and we feel like we're not going to be able to do that. Are we going to be able to, are their expectations going to be so high? Are we even going to be able to meet them? Now, if you have low self-worth, you already know that that is a great fear of trying to satisfy other people's demands. You're going to feel like you cannot meet that, so you'll pull back, and you may do for them, but you're always going to question yourself. You're going to always wonder, did I do that right? Did they like how I did it? And that can cause so much stress and so much anxiety in you. Then there's the feeling of insecurity about personal abilities, skills, and knowledge. Just like what I was saying, do you have what it takes? And if you have low self-worth, you already don't think you do. So anytime you do something for somebody else, you already have the foundation and the setup of, I'm not good enough. So no matter what I do, and you will go way overboard to overcompensate for that. Another thing that happens within someone who struggles with people pleasing is they feel very compulsive. They feel like they need to please other people, like it's something they have to do. And so that can really be one of those things that causes a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, because you're thinking that you have to always please other people. People pleasers often feel unhappy over not being able to please other people. Like I said, it causes a lot of stress and anxiety on them. Embarrassed by personal looks or behavior that displeases other people is definitely something that someone who struggles with people pleasing feels inside, because they feel like they never look good enough. They never, their appearance is not good enough. Now remember, that's from low self-worth. And when you start working on your low self-worth, that does get better. There's also the confusion about why it takes so much energy to please other people. I truly was a people pleaser. I thought that if I pleased people, then they would like me, right? And so I would spend all my time trying to do everything for everybody. If someone asked me for something, boy, I was like, yes, I'm going to do it for you. But the problem was I was so exhausted. I was trying to micromanage everything, and it was too much. It was just too much. And so I looked at, why am I exhausted all the time? Why does it take me so much energy to do things for others? It's because I wasn't giving 100% anywhere. I was always giving 10% here, 10% there, trying to give 100%, but it's impossible to do that. And so I was running myself ragged is what was happening. So there's also the fear of letting people down, letting family and friends down. There's also the fear of failure. There's also the fear of you're going to be found out. You're going to be found out that you're not as good as you want them to believe you are. Because see, inside, you live with yourself. And so you see all your mistakes. You see all the things that aren't perfect. And you are trying so hard for other people not to see that. But you fear that they are going to see it. So do you see all the different fears? So there's also the fear that others will recognize your failings. You know, when you put yourself out there, you are putting yourself in a position where other people can see your failings. And so you will stress over that. And it will be something that just is really hard for you. You also desire to run away, to avoid the stress of always needing to be good. That is a true feeling within people pleasers. You'll feel exhausted by always trying to do things perfectly, disappointed in not being able to make everyone happy. Have you ever felt that way, where you just want everyone to be happy? You're critical of self on how well you're doing things in your personal life. You feel unappreciated or taken advantage of. Oh my goodness, this is huge. When you struggle with people pleasing, you feel like everybody's taking advantage of you. And you know, in some ways they are, but you're letting them. Sometimes you feel like the martyr for others, like you're just going to be the knight in shining armor, and you're going to rescue them, and you're going to do whatever they need. And that becomes very difficult. When you struggle with people pleasing, you often feel angry inside. And because of that anger, you come unglued easily under pressure. When things are happening, if things are disorganized, or someone spills the milk, or something comes up that's unexpected, you will come unglued really quickly. And that is because you have this underlying anger that sits inside of you. And some of that anger is because you're stressed out. You're trying to do too much. Some of that anger is anger towards yourself because you're not good enough. You can't do it all. These are the things that people pleasers feel. Can you relate to any of them? Let me know in the comments. Comment below and let me know, can you relate to any of these? If you can relate and you want tools to help you break away from people pleasing, from pleasing others, make sure you click the link below and get your time for you. It's 5 simple habits to eliminate people pleasing. Get your copy so that you can look at what can you do about this. Yes, this is how you feel. If you relate to this, you know this is how you feel. So make sure you get your copy. And also click the like button if you found this video helpful. Be sure to share this. Share it with your friends. Put it on your social media sites. Because one thing I always say is these are tools for yourself first. You need to make sure you're using these tools for yourself. But make sure that you share them with others, because you have friends and family that need these tools and you may not even know it. They may not be letting you know where they are or how much they need these. So make sure you pass this forward. Look below for the link to become a member of Thrive While Alive community. Now, the answer to the trivia question. Remember the trivia question? It was, surveying 100 people, what percentage pretends to agree or feel fine when they actually are emotionally upset or disagree? Do you know what the percentage is? It's 67%. How did you do? Keep moving forward to Thrive While Alive. I'll see you in the next video.